What up, y'all?
What's going on, Spencer? Up there. Sorry.
Oh,
What's going
I didn't
on?
see you down
Oh,
there.
hey.
Hey,
Hey.
yeah. We're,
All
we're
right.
trying something new here. But anyway, it's been a while since we've talked to our Pinoy brothers and sisters on here.
Yes.
So today we're going to check out 12 ways the Philippines is better than America. I mean, are we going to stroke the egos of the Pinoy brothers and sisters?
Sell me on it. That is your
Yes.
job. When you make a video like this, you better sell me on it.
Yeah. Better do some good convincing here.
Yep.
I don't know why I'm wearing this one still.
Nope.
This
Nope.
is for the other channel. Anyway, you ready, Dan?
Yeah, man. Let's do it.
3, 2, 1.
Say how you feel, you know?
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna go to prison for it. Hey guys, I'm David DeMuzio.
I'm Rachel Hemphill.
I was born and raised in the US, but I've spent a lot of the last 10 years living in and visiting the Philippines.
So I was also born and raised in the States. My mom is Filipino and my dad is American. I moved here about 1 year ago, and I've kind of noticed a lot of things that I really love here compared to the US.
So today, Rachel and I have compiled our top 12 things that we like better about the Philippines compared to the US. And they're gonna kind of progressively get more important as we go, but I'll start with a pretty simple thing, and that is the music in taxis. I have discovered so much music that I love in taxis in the Philippines. People ask me where I get my ideas for my Filipino song covers that I do on YouTube, and it's actually in taxis. I hear different Filipino songs come up, and actually a lot of American songs. One of, for instance, the songs that I now love that I never heard in the US is the song For the First Time by Kenny Loggins. I never heard it in the US, even though he's an American artist. Also, Honesty by Harem Scarum is one of my favorite songs, and I never heard that except in the Philippines.
The first thing I've noticed,
Okay. So,
That makes sense.
like, from hearing what we've learned from a lot of the cover bands, through like other videos from Filipino stuff we checked out, particularly the Bourdain episode, it was like they learned like 2,500
Yeah.
songs,
Yeah.
and some hitting from U.S. artists in the Philippines that don't hit in the States, and
Yeah,
like
that
and
makes
like
sense.
they're into music like hardcore. Like,
Yeah.
I remember when we asked on one of the videos, it's like, hey, where's the good karaoke bar in the Philippines? People are like, my house.
Yeah.
Because
Pretty much.
everyone has a karaoke machine in their house.
But I'll tell you this. When I was in Nicaragua, right, I heard "Total Eclipse of the Heart" on repeat in every taxi that I've ever been in that country. Don't know why, but I never really heard it to completion. Granted, I
Yeah.
didn't want to, right, at all, ever, and I still don't. But that's where I heard it the most. So it's
Okay.
like, well, I get that. I get that. Especially like you said, they have a big library catalog of songs they have to tap into instantly for karaoke reasons.
Right. Cover bands, things like that.
Yep.
It's interesting to see, like, if a song from an American artist or a British artist or, I don't know, a Nicaraguan artist hits in a different country than
Yeah.
what they're from.
Yeah.
So this is a prime example of that.
Cool.
Philippines.
One of my favorite songs, and I never heard that except in the Philippines.
the first thing I've noticed since I've been here is when I go out to eat at restaurants, specifically Filipino restaurants, everyone orders family style. So what that means is we order like 5 or 6 dishes and then everyone just shares that. But in the US, it's not common to do that. So if you go to a restaurant in the US, you get the menu, you pick what you want, and then when the food comes, you just eat that. But like no one's really supposed to like
Eat
eat
each
your
other's
food.
food.
Yeah. But even when you're just out with friends, it doesn't even have to be family. But like it's just so nice that you're sharing. It's just a different kind of vibe rather than just being like kind of closed off, and I don't know, it's different. But
I totally agree. I think that the way you eat also relates to a lot of other things in the culture. So the number
Okay.
Like a collective, like a big.
Like if you ever you order lasagna for the table, or I don't know, chicharrones for the table, and
Yeah.
everybody picks off of that. and
Interesting.
eats like that. It's like a big family style. Like, I don't know.
Interesting.
It's like a potluck type of thing.
Okay.
Every Sunday, I go to my family friend Miss Doris's house, and we pass around plates, things like that.
Yeah,
So
and just like random plates, right?
right, right,
Random
right,
dishes.
right,
I
exactly, and everybody takes from that as opposed to I don't know, plates being served like in American restaurants.
I
Like,
actually dig that because not only would that solve a lot of waste, that would definitely help you with portion control.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I dig that. I dig that.
No wonder they're a lot healthier over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally agree. I think that the way you eat also relates to a lot of other things in the culture. So the number 3 thing is that the Philippines is a lot less Sioux happy than the US. And I really like the vibe that
Oh,
brings to everything. There's a lot more freedom, honestly, that I feel.
What were you thinking that they were saying?
I didn't connect it. I was like, Sue Happy? Who the fuck is Sue? I was like, oh, I was like, got it. Okay, I'm there with it. I'm
All
there with
right,
it.
all right.
Okay.
I'll let them cook.
On a day-to-day basis in the Philippines because of that lack of worry about somebody is going to sue you. To give you an example, we just went outside and we're shooting a music video, and we just hired some random dude's scooter, paid him 200 pesos, and like
You could never do that in the US. No one would ever.
no, people would be so worried that you would get hurt and sue them. And so I think that there's like this sort of Wild West feeling to the Philippines in like a less Sioux happy environment. And I love that.
The 4th thing.
I could compare that to down south when people
Yeah.
go ATV riding or go out shooting guns or something like that.
Yeah.
Like individual freedom, individual responsibility. We understand that. So
But remember though, I think I personally automatically, what is it, 2 minutes in, I've built my perceptions of these people already. But hear me out on this. They just hired someone random's scooter, which
right.
you could totally do here. You
Yeah.
could be like,
yeah.
hey bro, let me get that for like 2 hours and give them something like $200, whatever it is. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not doing that with a company though. That's the difference.
Right.
That's where you get into the sue happy. But if it's like personal stuff,
Yeah.
I don't think Tommy down the road is going to sue you.
No. Or Cletus with his pick 'em up truck.
Yeah.
For a music video.
Yeah.
You could throw him maybe just like a case of beer.
Yeah.
And
It'd be good.
you'd be good to go.
But
I'm just gonna take a wild guess, see that these two are like more city dwellers
yeah,
from the States than country folk.
Yeah.
So that's
100%.
yeah, so I'm thinking it's just city versus country in this case.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that the Filipinos are rednecks, but
No.
I think they're a little more salt of the earth.
Yeah, and I feel that because even down south or even outside of the cities, it's really not too happy. It's
Right.
maybe where they were raised 100%. I can't speak to their path, but okay.
Right.
Interesting. It's interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
Feeling to the Philippines in like a less Sioux happy environment. And I love that.
The 4th thing that I've noticed since being here is that people are much friendlier to me compared to when I'm in the US. I have a little bit of a Filipino look, so maybe they gravitate towards that. But it's just so easy for me to talk to people here and meet new people and make friends. Like everyone seems to be so friendly to me.
Yeah, I think generally Filipinos are more friendly to foreigners than Americans are to foreigners. So for instance, if you're a random dude from Zimbabwe or whatever,
Yeah.
and you like go to a party in the US, like a barbecue, and you're like the dude from Zimbabwe who just visited, I don't think people would really go out of their way to talk to you. They'd just be like, oh yeah, that's the dude from Zimbabwe who's here.
Yeah.
Versus like here, I feel like people would go up to that guy and go, oh, where are you from? You're from Zimbabwe?
Yeah.
Like, oh, what's it like there? Why did you visit the Philippines? They'd be a lot more interested in you as a foreigner and why you're there. It's much more friendliness in that way.
Yeah.
Okay, number
Again, another city versus country thing.
Yeah.
Because I've talked about this before, but when I was growing up in my small North Carolina county, my neighbors that moved in were Chinese immigrants, and I remember everyone at school, asked them, like, "Hey, how was China? Like, where'd you? How are you liking it here?" So that's I would counter that to maybe uh like in the city, maybe city versus country thing.
And it'd be interesting to know where they are pulling their experiences from.
Yeah,
Like even circling back to his music video that he was shooting. What music video has he shot that he's been sued before? What's he doing in
yeah,
his music videos?
yeah.
You know,
I mean, I guess we could check it out
I,
later.
no, my thing is, it's just like, okay, this is very, I get their perspective. If we put our minds in like a city dweller's perspective, which is very hard. It's like putting the square in the circle. I can't do that.
Right.
But but I can get that. I mean, and then again, hear me out on this. If I can preach it a little bit, not too much. Um, they need to be like, a lot of people are welcoming to foreigners, especially when it's like, well, the whole culture's happier, like the
Yeah.
happier, friendly, what family friendly, family oriented. It's just,
Yeah.
it's like they appreciate the trip because a majority of them have people that have made that trip to the US. And I feel like
Right. Right.
it's
Right.
connected. I think they're more connected with travelers because a lot
Yeah.
of them have people in the family that are travelers themselves.
Right. A lot of nurses, a lot of things like
Yeah.
that. And I could even draw parallels to my trip to the United Kingdom. I would say that the South, like London, Bath, they kind of kept to themselves and went about their merry way. And the North, Glasgow, Newcastle, Liverpool, were a lot more inquisitive and friendly and more welcoming, I would
Hmm.
say. So maybe that's just another city versus country thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number five is one that Rachel has not yet discovered, but I told her about it, and I think she's going to be very happy now. And that is 50% off bake sales at closings at bakeries in the Philippines. In the US, there are no 50% bake sales at closings. I've never come across one, at least in my entire life. But at most of the bakeries in the Philippines, especially a lot of high-end bakeries with delicious baked goods, at closing, usually about an hour before, they have a 50% off sale where they put just about everything in the entire store at 50% off, and it's so cheap and delicious. So I would go and just load up with like a giant bag of baked goods and eat that for the rest of the week.
Yeah, see, I've been here for almost 1 year, and I've never heard of that in my entire life. Like, I love bread, I love desserts, I love cakes, like, all that stuff, and I've never seen, like, a 50% bake sale.
Yeah.
That's really crazy to me, because they would never do anything like that in the States, unless all the food was, like, really old or just about to expire. Like,
exactly.
You don't see that. So now that I know that, I definitely have to go and check that out. So
Heck yeah. Again, I don't think I've seen that in the States. At least with bake stores, like just trying to clear everything out. I mean, maybe at like a Amish market before I've seen it like at like closing. If you
Yeah.
haggle well enough, you could probably get some discounts on some
Well,
things.
well, I think it's because the ingredients they use in the food storage and the less preservatives they have. Like,
Yeah.
like if you're dealing with fresh baked stuff that tends to go bad without proper food storage, you get rid of it. Like you
Right.
tend to get rid of it faster. Our stuff over here is chock full of preservatives. It can keep on a shelf for a week solid
Oh yeah.
without turning.
Even longer than that, dude. For
Yeah,
like a
so
month.
yeah, and so you have stores that are fresh baked, fresh made, probably go bad if they don't move the product out because they probably don't have adequate food storage in that. I just feel like they keep it fresh, they keep the product moving to make room
Yeah.
for the new product in the morning.
Right. Right.
I think that's where that might come from. Then again, I could just be putting my foot in my mouth, and that's what I'm here to do.
Y'all let us know.
So number 6 is surprising to me, but it's that some chain restaurants from America are much, much better in the Philippines. So for example, I love Chili's, the restaurant, and in America we would go all the time, but it started to just go really downhill. The food wasn't good, the service wasn't good. But then I came here and it was like the service was so amazing. People were so friendly, so attentive. And then you got your food quick, it was hot, you could tell everything was fresh. Like, it really surprised me because you would think that if it's a chain restaurant, it should just be exactly how it is in the US. But here it's like 100 times better.
Yeah, so another one for me that's the same.
Okay, wow. Chili's is much better in the Philippines.
I'm agreeing with them on this. Like any
Yeah.
fast food place is going to be better somewhere else, and
Yeah.
it goes back to food quality, right? The food quality is better in other countries,
Right.
obviously, and they pay their staff a livable wage for
Yeah,
that country.
I hope so.
So then they take pride in the establishment,
Right.
you know.
Right.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
100% agree with this.
Yeah, that has to make sense.
Is actually Starbucks. So in the US, I rarely go to Starbucks, and I definitely would never go to Starbucks to eat a meal. I would never think about having my lunch at Starbucks, right? But here in the Philippines, I eat at Starbucks almost every other day. The food at Starbucks is awesome, and it's all different. It's actually Filipino-related food at Starbucks. So one of my favorite desserts in the world is banoffee, and Starbucks has awesome banoffee, which is also a Filipino dish. Starbucks in the Philippines is much better. And it's actually run by a Filipino company. It's not run by Starbucks America. So that's why Starbucks in the Philippines, way better. Number 7.
Wow. That blows my mind. And especially after we checked out how Starbucks failed in Australia, like that shocks me right there.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay, I'm all for it. It makes sense. Like they sell the stuff that sells there. Like I would be interested to see how that food tastes.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
But
if this video gets enough traction and the Pinoys come out, then
What?
we can do what we did with over on Embrace the Suck with UK stuff, and maybe do a vlog series.
oh my God, we gotta travel. We
yeah.
gotta travel.
Yeah. What y'all need to do is watch this video to the end, share. That way we could fund a trip like that.
100%.
Y'all gotta want it though.
Yep.
7, fairly obvious if you've had them, and that is mangoes. Mangoes in the US are not even particularly good, and here they're absolutely delicious. I could eat them every single day at every meal.
And in the US, they're actually very hard to find. Okay, the 8th thing for me is movie theaters. If you've ever been to the States and gone to a movie theater, you'll probably know that it's really expensive and you can't buy snacks because they're really expensive. Just for a box of popcorn is literally $10.
Yeah.
For a drink, that's $5, so that's already almost 1,000 pesos gone.
Wow.
Just for snacks. People always have to sneak in snacks, whether it's in your purse or in your jacket.
Gummies in your pocket.
Yeah, but here in the Philippines, movie tickets are really cheap, and the food and the popcorn and everything is really cheap, and you don't even have to buy it at the movie theater. You can walk in with literally whatever you want,
Yeah.
and they don't care. Here, I love the movie theaters.
I go to way more movies when I'm in the Philippines.
For sure.
Did you ever notice that some movies come out here first as well?
I did notice
yes,
that,
a lot of
actually.
movies come out here first.
Yeah, I saw Bohemian Rhapsody, and all my friends in the States were like, "What? You already saw it?" It came out, I think it was just one day earlier.
Oh, okay.
But I don't understand why. I'm sure there's some reason.
Well,
but,
we are a day ahead here. So it
But
could be that.
maybe.
But a lot of movies do come out even a few days earlier here. Number 9.
Okay. It's quite expensive here in the States to actually go to the movies, and if there were any movies that were worth a damn to go to,
I took my son. To go see the new Garfield movie when I was in Florida.
yeah,
and
okay,
I spent $45
on the both of you.
on the both of us. Ticket,
Damn.
popcorn, and drink.
Damn.
Come at me. That's too much money.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah. Come on, man. Wow.
is the opportunity to help people in really small ways that still has a significant effect on them. And I'm not going to talk about this to brag at all. This is something that makes me happy. I find that there are a lot of ways to help people in the Philippines that make me feel really good and also really helps them. And it doesn't cost a lot, and it's not difficult to find. So in the US, for instance, if I was to go up to someone on the street who had like a difficult job, a street cleaner or something like that, and hand them $20, it really would make no difference, and they'd almost be like, why are you giving me $20? It's nothing.
Yeah.
But here in the Philippines, because there are so many homeless people and so many people in difficult positions, I actually give out a lot of cash on the street. It just makes me feel good. So almost every single day, when I'm walking somewhere, I'll see a person that's working on, a lot of times it's recycling, and they're digging through the trash and they're finding the bottles to be able to recycle them and have money. And so I'll have 1,000 pesos in my pocket, which again is only like $20, but I'll just give them the 1,000 pesos and their face lights up, and you can tell that it's instantly made a difference in their life, and it makes me feel good, and it's just fun to be able to help somebody so easily. And I do the same with a lot of kids on the street. I don't give money to beggars on the street because I feel like there's a lot of corruption and things sometimes in that. But I will find kids on the street and I'll just take them to restaurants. So a lot of times I'll go have a meal at a nice restaurant myself, and then I'll just walk out of the restaurant, look for some kids, and then just bring them to the restaurant and buy them the same meal. And it's really fun.
Number 10.
Okay, so translation, the US dollar makes a lot of Filipino pesos. So
I understand what he's saying, but it just rubs me the wrong way how he's saying it.
yeah.
It's like, are you trying to flex about this? You should just be. I know he said he's not, therefore that's off the table, but still, a street cleaner here, if you gave him $20, is still going to be appreciative.
Right.
Will it change their world? No, because it costs minimum right now $100 to just walk out of your door. Minimum, if you're budgeting.
Yeah, $100 is the new $20
That's
these days.
what it is here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't like how he's saying it. I don't know. Maybe it's a me thing, but I see what he's saying, and it's cool, like humanitarian, philanthropic almost.
Yeah, but it kind of signals of
egotistical
white person trying to be a savior type of thing.
Yeah, and I'm like, no. But it's cool if he's helping people. Fucking awesome, dude. I don't know. It's just me and people have this relationship,
Yeah, I mean, I had a few goodies that I couldn't travel with in the UK, and I just gave them to a homeless person and just went about my day, Yeah. That's just something you do sometimes, you know, if you can. Yeah.
Opportunity to make and create deep and meaningful friendships. So I've only been here for less than a year, and I've already made an unbelievable amount of friends, and they're all so close to me, and they know pretty much everything about me in such a short amount of time, compared to my friends in Colorado, who I absolutely love and cherish, but I've known those people my whole life, and it feels like since I've moved here, I've already known these people my whole life, and it's just that easy and that quick.
Same for me. I have just as many close friends, lifelong friends, here in the Philippines as I do in the US. And I only lived in the Philippines for about 2.5 years, and I lived in the US, most of my life. People are a little bit more open to allowing you to be a good friend of theirs, and they're looking for good friends, versus in the US, it's you find a new good friend every couple of years, maybe.
I think a lot of people here really cherish companionship and having new experiences and meeting new people. A lot of people in the US don't really, I wouldn't say a lot of people, but some people just don't really think that way. They're okay with where they are, and they're okay with who they're around.
Yeah.
So they don't feel the need to I guess, branch out, which sounds kind of bad, but
Yeah, I think it's true. Number
Honestly, she's not too far off. Both of them are not too far off when it comes to making new friends. And I mean, I at the time we're recording this, July 2024, there's still a bit of a loneliness epidemic. But that's people smarter than us can talk about that better. But
Yeah.
it is a bit harder to make friends in as an adult in the States,
Yeah.
especially since I've moved back home and like people are working all the time. They have their own lives and they just don't have room for more companionship.
We're too busy.
Yeah.
We're too busy to have the luxury of friends, which is nuts to say. We're just grind until we effing die.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And that's why we found this crazy awesome loophole being able to do this, what we do.
Yeah,
on
yeah,
this.
that's how we've been able to maintain a friendship for so long.
Crazy.
Is this
And see each other almost every day.
pretty much?
But yeah, no, I get that. But it's just it's these. I love that they're voicing their 12 ways. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
and I can get that if I lived in their shoes. This is their ways, not
Of course.
But every list like this is going to be opinionated, isn't it? So,
Right. And our reaction is opinionated as
Yeah.
well.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
11 is cover bands here are in general way better. So everybody around the world knows that Filipinos are possibly the world's best singers per capita. I mean, there's just ridiculous amounts of great singers. And it is not uncommon at all to walk into a bar or club here and hear them belting out a Journey song and it's literally sounding just like Journey. And that's something that's really difficult to pull off.
Number 12.
Yeah, before the last one, going back to what we said earlier about, cover bands just being on a whole other level. Yeah, we've already discovered that the singers are just built differently.
And it's funny he mentions Journey. It's funny
Yeah.
he mentions Journey because their guy is Filipino.
Right. The guy who took over for Steve Perry.
Yeah, he's Filipino.
Yeah.
So it's like, point, there it is.
Pretty much.
Like Journey, and that's something that's really difficult to pull off.
Number 12. This more applies to me, I think, but the drinking age and the nightlife and the night scene here in Manila. So in the US, you cannot drink or go out to clubs until you are 21. So for me, I'm 18, so being here in the Philippines where the drinking age is 18, it's 18, so I can go out, I can drink with friends, I can go to the clubs, which I don't do so often, but it's really fun, and compared to the States, you can't really do that. And also when you do go out to the clubs in the States, they all close around 2 a.m., 1 a.m., but here in Manila, it's kind of like the city that never sleeps of Asia. People party until 5, 6 a.m. and maybe that's not necessarily the best thing, but it is what makes the Philippines a little bit different and a little bit more fun than the US.
So Rachel and I,
All right.
That sounds
All right.
exhausting, bro.
Yeah.
5
never-
o'clock, Jesus, bro.
Man, I mean, I never was the type that was into like oonts type of clubs,
Yeah.
but I'm more into like pubs and bars. So as long as there's karaoke there, which I mean, come on, does a bear shit in the woods?
Yeah.
There's karaoke everywhere.
Everywhere.
There. So I'm sure I can find my my paradise.
Oh, for
there.
sure, man. For sure.
Yeah, but man, that's good to know that it's also the drinking age is 18 there, so I guess it's less of a forbidden fruit, kind of
Yeah.
like the UK. Yeah.
It makes sense, man.
Makes the Philippines a little bit different and a little bit more fun than the US.
so Rachel and I had an extra 2 bonus things that we wanted to add. And you're probably thinking, why didn't this already make the list? But we just figured that it was so obvious. And that is, number 1, the beaches. The beaches here, just
So amazing.
yeah, I mean, it's no comparison to America.
Literally no comparison.
What's your favorite beaches?
Oh,
Well,
I mean,
I've been
They're all
I
really
haven't
nice.
been to too many places, but I did go to Siargao, and that is literally unreal. Like,
Wow.
you won't find a place like that anywhere in the States. And I know you can't really compare
Yeah.
because we're on an island, and, you know, that's why it's kind of obvious. But it's so beautiful. Everywhere I go is so beautiful.
I do think that the Philippines has the best beaches in the world. And I've been to Thailand, to Hawaii, to Australia, to all of the other places, you know, Mauritius, everywhere that's got nice beaches. The Caribbean, I've been all over. And to me, the Philippines has the best beaches in the world.
Yeah, I used to always want to go. I beg my parents, let's go to Hawaii. Like, why do you want to go to Hawaii? It's the same as the Philippines.
Yes.
Like, I just never understood. But after being here and like really seeing the beaches, it is so amazing. And I don't think anything else could compare.
And the last
All right. Okay. That now you've sold me. Like partying late night on a beach.
Yeah.
That's sign me up.
Yeah, open with that, guys. Open with that.
Yeah.
Open
Come
with
on.
that.
Yeah. We love us a beach. So
Yeah.
come on.
Oh man.
last one that we're going to throw out there, again, quite obvious. We didn't want to add this to the top 12, but it's just in general true. And that is a lot of things are way cheaper in the
Yes.
Philippines. There are certain things that are more expensive, but on sort of like a day-to-day
Basic
basis.
things that you need.
Yeah, especially if you're vacationing. There's very little that when you're on vacation here that wouldn't be cheaper. Hotel rooms, you know, the hotel we're in right now is like, it's in a great location, tons of restaurants around. It's $18 for tonight, you know?
$18.
Yeah.
And it's so clean and it's so
Yeah.
nice. In the States, you pay $18 for a hotel room and you need to like sleep with a gun next to you.
Yeah. You'll be sharing a bed in prison. All right, well, thanks for watching.
And again, another thing you should have led with is cheap everything is.
I'm pretty sure prison's more expensive than that hotel room. So that's like, hell yeah, I'm there. Here's my question. For the tourist industry, I'm sure they have to sell like all-inclusive packages. And I'm asking everyone that's watching, what is the best vacation spot package that you guys know of?
Yeah, put some links down below, maybe some titles of some companies
Yep.
that put these things together, or heck, just write out an itinerary for like 2 weeks.
Oh, because it definitely would have to be 2 weeks.
Minimum.
Or yeah, minimum. Especially because of that flight, dude. That flight would be so long.
Right. I thought the flight from Baltimore to London was long, but
No,
that's
yeah.
half of what it takes to get to the
Yeah.
Philippines from
Yeah.
the States.
Oh man, but this was interesting, man. It's always good to see perspectives on on this kind of thing, especially if we have the end goal of one day traveling and doing vlogs as content on this channel, which
Yeah.
I would hope these kind of videos open that door. But
Yeah,
it's just it's good to get everyone's opinion and everyone's perspective, because it helps us balance our, I guess, preconceived. What are those calls?
Preconceived notions?
Going into a place.
What we think we know about Philippines.
Everyone has them going to someplace new. At least if we check out all these perspective type videos, at least ours will be a little bit more balanced than just watching one video. And that must be how it is.
Right. We invite you. We're going to put our Instagram link in the description. So many Brits messaged us about when I went over to the UK. We invite you to do the exact same thing, as well as the comments underneath here.
Yep.
We're going to be sifting through a lot of these. We're really leaning on a lot of y'all for help on that.
This is how we learn this is like a real experience kind of thing. You let us know how it is.
Right, right.
And obviously, you guys are more in tune than anyone that's filming for anything. I'm just saying we have more of a pool to ask.
These two definitely helped get the conversation going about it. We need y'all to help finish it.
Yes,
and continue it. So anyway, we've rambled on about that enough. Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing and watching another video. Thank you, channel members, for your support. What now, Dan?
Make sure you unplug and do something legendary, guys.
See y'all next time.